I'm here in a fancy place today, and you guys can tell probably I'm at a hotel ballroom, and behind me is Key Platform 2021 held here in Korea, Conrad Seoul Hotel. So I'll be covering the conference today, and they'll be going over in depth of the future mobility, and I really personally can't wait to see what will be covered in this Key Platform. So these have been the topics for the past few years, starting with 2017, Pandemonium of 2020, Remastering Korean Heritage, and here is Decentralization, Edge of the Frontier, Post Pandemonium. Today, Key Platform, the conference part of I am in today, is about future mobility. Personally, it's really great seeing these kind of conferences happening again because, as we know, because of the pandemic, this has been put on hold for a long time. But then we are starting to see more of these, lately. I have the program in my hand, covers the future mobility, the Green New Deal era, which will be about the autonomous driving. And as for the autonomous driving, so forth, Tesla has been the biggest market leader competitor, and other brands, Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia, they're definitely catching up on their game. Well, technology overall, we're still not so sure about that autonomous driving, but then we'll be having the crew over here today, the professionals, and I wonder what they will give us about the next generation, or if not next level, autonomous driving. This will be led by Applied Intuition, which is a unicorn from a startup that's only been out there for 4 years.
John's background, he's currently vice president of Hyundai Motor Group. He's also the founding director of New Horizons Studio.
I think we should also note that technology in history, right, has caused what's called this creative destruction, right? And they are collaborative, mobile, autonomy. That combination, and maybe the key word being collaborative, right? So mobile autonomy, but collaborative with people. And I think that will be one thing to take away from this.
Human is amazing driving machine once he is focusing on. But the problem is human always, because it's so capable, it can do cell phone checking, can do many things, right? It's not easy for one German automaker to partner up with a Japanese automaker or a Korean automaker and have learnings go across.
I think in the future, every company will be a software company. And it's just what is the order of which companies will be a software company. So even if you're doing furniture making, software will be important. If you're doing cars, software will be important. If you're doing phones already, software is very important.
Overall, they've been going through mostly about the autonomous driving, starting with ADAS, and that stretches out on the broadband of level 1 to 4. And they gave us a lot of very direct and intuitive examples of how these autonomous driving are changing and affecting our lives. Starting with the emergency brakes. I don't know how many of you guys had the time where you were saved by such feature, but I myself had a couple of times. Well, some of them, the blame is on me, but like some of the other cases and occasions, the blame was on the other self. And on the brochure I was going through, it said over 90% of the accidents are related with the human factor when it comes to the automotive scene. So that being said, we are only starting to experience what the autonomous driving is like. Their vision is that everything that's on the move, everything that moves, will be autonomized. So if you're in the field of anything that is moving, that will turn into autonomous drive, be it driving, be it flying, be it traveling. any sorts of that form will be transformed into the autonomous driving, self-driving method for that matter. There was a Mr. John Seo, the vice president of Hyundai Motor Group, charged in the UMV department, so I had a little bit of a chance to hear the insight from him. He emphasized on about the collaborative outputs of not only the market, be it the software or the hardware, but also people around and surrounding it. They have also gone through and mentioned about the dissipating jobs because of the brand new technology that's been debuted. But that's always been the case with, you know, the society, the world. It's always been like that. The new technology would pop up, replace the original jobs. However, throughout the history and overall, this so-called new technologies always have been bringing in the new jobs and opportunities and open up the window for the new chances. That's always been the case, in which we will also be seeing with the latest technology to come. So, and mark that word and highlight that word, it's going to be all companies that will turn into a software company. It is just a matter of the differences in the size of the company, the stuff you deal with, but be it automobiles, be it the furniture manufacturers, just anything, everything will turn into a software. And something that we are witnessing, the living proof of that will be the phones, the cell phones or smartphones we use today. Throughout, before the debut of iPhone, you know, it's always been that issue with what's more important, you know, software or the hardware. There was still debate about that, but not really the case anymore. iPhone, Samsung, well, LG recently given up on their business, but they are definitely more focusing on the software, and one way or the other, they are considered to be one of the biggest software companies in the world. Oh, and another thing from one of the speakers is that everything will be simulated. Everything. He said that everything will be simulated. And some of the things that's been covered at the conference, you know, I don't really see it happening right now. However, they have been on the forefront of, I mean, they are from Y Combinator. They are based in Silicon Valley. They are unicorn companies. Only knows what, you know, what they've been seeing, what they've been hearing, what they have been witnessing. So as a customer, being on the end of the pipeline, you know, I only hope for the best, and I personally think that I'm really lucky to be living in this era, to be, you know, witnessing what all this is happening. I hope you guys feel the same way about that. These technologies are just fascinating. It's beyond fascinating. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. There were a lot of amazing, great content covered in this key platform. You know, not to mention about the keynote speakers, but also the program itself. I am very humbled and honored to be invited at this event, and hope to share with you guys all more of these types of the leading cutting edge technology. All right, I'll see you in the next video.